Okay, so started nice and seated. So here we want our hips below the shoulders. Draw those ribs in, okay. Take the inhale, grow tall. Closing off the eyes. Just take a moment. Noticing here if you're beginning to hold tension through the hips. If you are, then just notice where that's coming from. Maybe adjust your position. And then inhale, bring those shoulders up towards the ears. Notice the space now as you exhale and send those shoulders back and down. Let's go again. Take an inhale, bring those shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. And then last one, inhale, bring the shoulders up. And then exhale, bring them back and down. And now your choice where you want to put your hands for the equal breathing, either hands to belly and chest, hands to knees, entirely up to you, but try and keep that chest open. Okay, so we're going to take our equal breathing now just to get us really into our practice. So here we go. Let's take an inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allowing your breath to return to its normal pattern, and noticing the inhales and the exhales. And then from here, we're just going to take that right arm high, really lift up right out of the socket. See if we can still keep the head above the hips rather than leaning over. We want to just be reaching up. And then take that hand to the left ear and then just open up through the neck. So a really controlled opening. So more of an encouragement, not a yank. Just finding that stretch down the outside of that left side of the neck. And now either keeping your eyes open or closed, doesn't matter. Just think about an intention for today's practice. You're here, you've shown up, that's amazing. Maybe got some energy you want to send somewhere. Releasing off that neck, let's take the left arm high, reaching up, spread through the fingers, really find that length through the arm. On the exhale, take that hand just across the head and then begin to just open down the right side of the neck. Seeing if you can keep that right shoulder down as well, rather than that right shoulder begins to creep alongside the ear. We want to open up nice and safely. And then releasing off. Okay, from here, we're just going to switch over the legs, okay? Switch out those legs so we're nice and balanced. Find that space on the block. And then we're going to take the hands behind the head. Think here about just opening out through the shoulders as the through the chest as you begin to squeeze the shoulders together. Really thinking here about those elbows heading towards the side walls, but also back, just opening out. And then you can draw that core in for some stability and just begin to open up the throat as you gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep that core switched on to protect the back. And then coming back to neutral. And then draw those elbows in towards one another. We're going to work through the spine now. So really carefully, just tuck the chin to the chest and then begin to just roll each vertebra down nice and slowly. Going as low as is comfortable. Remember, just an intention, not about yanking us down. And then slowly just roll the spine all the way up, keeping that chin tucked to the chest. And then opening through those elbows, really squeezing those shoulders together, open through the throat. You take the gaze up if it's comfortable, keep the core switched on. Okay, let's go one more time. Head to neutral, bring those elbows in towards one another, and then start to just roll through the spine. And then slowly and carefully coming back up, chin to chest, and then open through those elbows, and then open through the throat. Gaze comes up. And then bring the head back to neutral, and then just release off those arms and shake them out. Okay, just going to remove the block now. Just open through that right foot. So the right leg comes long, left foot comes into the inside of that right thigh. I'm going to take the right hand towards the foot. And then from here, take that left arm high and then sweep that left arm all the way over. So we might find that we're really stiff at the moment. We've only just started. So if we're right up here, doesn't matter. We want to think here about opening through that left side body. So with every inhale, see if you can lift up. With the exhale, see if you can come down. Remember, this is just the intention of opening that left side body. If you're right up here and still feeling it, then that is perfect. Okay, let's bring the arms back. The left hand is going to come behind you. Right arm sweeps all the way round. Lift through the hips. And then begin to push down the pinky edge side of that right foot. Reaching with the fingertips of the right hand. Find that lovely opening all the way down, all the way through that right side body. Pushing through those glutes. Just take a moment in this lovely expression. And then sinking those hips all the way back down. Nice. Let's switch out those legs now. We've got the right foot coming into the inside of that left thigh, sitting up nice and tall. Take that left hand towards the foot, doesn't have to be there. Take the right arm up and then begin to find that opening down the right side body. Maybe noticing if one side is tighter than the other. With the inhale, reach up, find a little bit of space to move into on the exhale. And then from here, the right hand comes behind you, sweep that left arm all the way round, and then nice and carefully lift through the hips, reach through that left hand, lifting through the hips, pushing the left pinky side of that foot down into the mat. Keep control of the neck, but you can open through the throat. And then safely coming all the way back down. Really nice. Okay, I'm going to take the feet together here. If you're really tight through the hips, you might want to sit on a block here just to lift you up a little bit. So you've got options. You can just sit like this for a moment, just opening through the hips. If you've got a little bit more space to give, you can begin to walk those fingertips forward. If you've got lots of space, then you can use your feet as a little bit of use the hands against the feet to give you that little bit of leverage just to move the body forward a little bit, to open just a little bit deeper through the hips. But find you're comfortable. And I would urge you now just to check in with the body, noticing if you're holding your breath, maybe you're gripping through the butt cheeks, maybe you're gripping through the biceps, wherever you might be holding tension. Just see if you can adjust to try and release that. Inhale, see if that crown of the head can come forward, and then exhale, can you just move into that space? And then coming back up, just nice and carefully bring those knees together. Use the hands for a little bit of support. Going to take the feet out in front, about hip width apart. Just take the hands behind you. The fingers can point to the back wall and open through the shoulders. Just roll them back, find space. And then we're just going to windscreen wiper those knees from side to side. But we're just going to take our time here, feeling it right deeply into the IT bands, into the hips. Just taking a moment. And then taking our last one here. Bringing those knees back up. Okay, from here, we're just going to come over, so cross over those ankles, come into a table. All right, so we're in our table. Just tuck on, just check in with your stance. So make sure shoulders over wrists and hips over knees, feet nice and flat. So we're going to just work into our spine. So just begin to take rounds with the spine. Up to you how you do this. Thinking about the movement from the pelvis, thinking about moving into the wrists, into the shoulders. And then wherever you go in one direction, see if you can move it back the other way. Okay, and then when you're ready, coming to pause in table. Keeping the neck nice and relaxed. We're going to keep that right hand down. We're going to lift through the left arm, lifting that left arm high, seeing if we can keep those hips both level. And then send that left arm underneath the right, come to rest on the top of that left arm, and then take the right arm high. Option to take that top hand and take it to the top of the left thigh. And then carefully bringing yourself back through to table. And then once again, just working through the spine again, coming back to your cat-cows, just taking that movement. And then coming back to your neutral again. Okay, so from here, left hand plants down, right arm now lifts, opening into this nice twist. Trying to drive that right hip down still. It's really easy for it to just open. Just notice it, just be mindful. And then that right arm comes underneath the left, come to rest on top of that right shoulder, lifting the left arm high. And then maybe taking that left arm all the way behind you. And then coming back to your table. Okay, we're going to tuck the toes and hover the knees here. Just sway the body forward into your plank and then bring chest back to thighs. Body comes forward into plank and then chest to thighs. Last one here, find your plank and then chest to thighs. From here you can jump to the top of your mat and then find your forward fold. We want to take a deep bend into the knees here. Okay, we're going to take the grip. So we're going to take the hands behind the calf muscles and we're going to really bend from here. So really push those hands into the calves. Keep the neck long. Thinking about the sit bones heading up towards the ceiling. The weight is more forward into the toes. And then bringing the weight back to the center of the foot. Take the hands down to the mat and then just extend through the legs. Take a moment in this forward fold. Take a bend into the right knee. Right hand comes down, left arm opens. Always option to take that top arm all the way round, touching the top of the right thigh. Maybe you've got the balance for it. The gaze can come up towards the ceiling as well. Think here about sending those butt cheeks back. Really switch on that stretch down the IT band, down the back of the legs. Left arm or hand plants down, straighten through the right leg, left leg bends now, right arm lifts up. If you've got shorter arms, you can always use a block to bring the floor to you. Option to open through the shoulders as always. Check out if you're gripping with the knee. If you are, just notice it, see if you can encourage to release that tension. And then right hand comes back. From here, we're going to inhale those arms up, come into a chair. We're going to sit the bottom back nice and deeply, tuck under the tailbone and sink a little bit lower. Okay, take the hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take a turn to the right hand side. And then use that left elbow to just hook onto the outside of that right leg. And then squeeze those hands together, bringing chest and hands in alignment. Going to come to the toes on this left side now. And then multiple little steps or one big one, come back into your high lunge. So really pushing that back heel back. Keep pushing that left elbow into the knees. And then from here, we're going to release that off. Left hand comes down towards the mat. Right arm lifts. See if you come into this deep twist. If you hate it, then go back to where you were. Okay, from here, come back round to center. We're in our high lunge. Keep that back heel is lifted, but we are pushing down, okay? Nice, take the hands down to the mat. We're gonna take the right foot back to the left. Find your plank. Gonna hang out here for a moment or two. Too much, come down to the knees, that's totally fine. And then we're going to take the knees as wide as the mat now. Take the bottom back, sit the bottom onto the heels. Walk those fingertips forward. Find that stretch through the shoulders. Keep the neck neutral. Bring the forehead to the mat. Allow the belly to fall between the legs. And then slowly finding your way back up to your table. Okay, from here, tuck the toes, hover the knees, find your plank. And then when you're ready, step, hop or jump to the top of your mat. And then from here, we're just going to take a forward fold again. So you can take a deep bend into the knees if you would like to, or you can go towards straightening, doesn't really matter. I really like a bend into the knees. I like the way it feels through the hamstrings. Remember keeping the weight forward through the toes, thinking about the sit bones heading up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale the arms up, come into a chair. Sinking that bottom low, tucking the tailbone, sinking lower, keeping those arms alongside the ears if you can. Hands come to center. Take the inhale and lengthen through the spine. Take the exhale, begin to twist round to the left side, drawing that right knee back in line with the left. When you're ready, take the hook outside of that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And then squeezing those hands together to bring the hands to the center of the chest. Can you sink the bottom down a little bit lower? Okay, toes on the right side now, lifting through the heel. Lots of little steps or one big step, entirely up to you. Pushing through that back heel, keeping that twist in place. Keeping control, nice. Right hand can come down, left arm can open. If you don't like it, go back to where you were. Maybe you've got the balance for it. You can take the gaze up towards the ceiling as well. Still pushing through the back heel, still lifting through that back kneecap. Okay, from here, coming up to center, coming back into a high lunge, pushing through that back heel, still bent through that left knee. Okay, we're going to take the hands down to the mat, come back into your plank. Nice. Take the knees together now. Take the knees to the mat. Take the feet together. Come and find a narrow-legged child's pose. Bring the forehead down. Allow the hands to come behind you, palms up, and allow the shoulders to melt over the top of the knees and the heart rate to drop. Maybe a little sway from side to side. And whilst you're here, just check in with the body. Feel the connection to the mat. Feel the heaviness of the body against the fabric. Notice whether it's cold, smooth, warm. And then nice and slowly begin to peel yourself up. Really try and stack through each vertebrae. Keep the chin to the chest. And then when you're ready, come back up to a seated. From here, we're just going to tuck the toes underneath us and just sit back for a moment. So sitting back, if you've got a strap, we want to open up through the shoulder. So if you've got a strap, you can always, I'll turn to you, you can always just take hold of the strap to open up through that right shoulder. If you are super flexy, you can always take the grip if you've got the grip available to you. Maybe you have on one side or maybe not on the other. But if that's not great for you and you're not loving it, you can always just take opposite elbows, okay? Lots of options for you here. So sinking back onto the heels, And then whilst you're here, see if you can just draw those ribs in. So rather than sitting with them flaring out, keep that core still strong. So if you've got one of those shoulder grips, just make sure that you've got enough time now just to swap over on the other side. Much tighter on one side than the other. I'm going to blame all that swimming. And then inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head. Wrap those ribs in. Core is still switched on. Take the gaze down the center line, lengthen through the neck. And then release any of those arm or shoulder grips that you've got going on there. Just take the hands forward and then just tap out those toes for a moment. Okay, so we're here. From here, just take the toes down. We're going to hover the knees again and then find your plank. Going to hang out here for a moment. And then hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Okay, so we're in our forward fold. Just allow the head to hang heavy. Take the hands to the shins, take a half lift, lengthen through the spine. Imagine the crown of the neck, the head touching that front wall. Sit bones go back. And then take that forward fold again. From here, we're going to take that left foot back. We're going to come into a warrior two. So the back foot comes down. Bend into that front knee. We want our hips facing the long edge of the mat. Take the arms nice and wide. Really think about reaching forward with the front fingers and reaching back with the back fingers. Open through this right knee, okay? We don't want a lazy knee. We want to be really thinking about almost twisting it out. We are super strong here. Right elbow comes down, left arm reaches up. Lift through that top hand. Check in with that back leg. Tendency here to be super lazy, so push through those back feet, not fingertips, toe tips, the back pinky edge side of that left foot. Okay. And then take that left arm all the way over. Open up through the side body. Noticing just how strong you are. And then coming all the way back up, and then find your warrior two again. Heading into our reverse warrior now, left hand comes behind us. Turn the palm of that right hand up, lift up towards the ceiling. We're going to pause here. Inhale, reach up as far as you can. Open through the chest as you begin to just take that, rock that right hand back. So remember, it's about lifting up. There should be very little weight through that left hand. Check in with that front knee, make sure it's still bent. And then come back into your warrior two again. Really nice. Okay, take those hands to the hips. We're going to straighten through that right foot. Take the right foot left 90 degrees. You want to have both feet so they're parallel to the outside of the mat. Take the hands to the hips, take a forward fold. It's pausing halfway. Lengthen through the crown of the head and then take a forward fold. Okay, lifting up. From here, we're going to take the left toes to the facing the top of the mat. We're going to keep the back foot now at about 45 degrees. Okay, coming into a warrior two on the left side now. So open up, those hips are facing the long edge of the mat. Open up through that left side, reaching the left fingertips back forward and reaching those right fingertips back. Super strong down that back leg. Okay, the elbow comes down to that left knee, reach up through the right hand, reaching up. And then take that right arm all the way forward. Really open up through that right side body, pushing the pinky edge side of that right foot into the mat. Gaze is wherever is comfortable for you. Okay, coming all the way back up to your warrior two. Okay, we're going to spin the palm of the left hand up towards the ceiling. Right hand comes down the back of the right leg. We're going to inhale, lift through that left hand. Inhale, lift and lift and lift. And then on the exhale, begin to fold over that back leg, coming into your reverse warrior, lifting up. Thinking here, the weight's coming up through that left hand rather than dumping down into the right. Check you still have a bend in that front knee. And then coming back into your warrior two again. Brilliant. Turn those feet to the long edge of the mat. So feet edges are parallel to the mat again. Hands come to hips. Take the half fold. Pause here. Find length through the spine. And then forward fold here. Okay, from here, we're just going to bend through the right knee. As we bend through the right knee, we're going to turn the toes of the left foot up towards the ceiling. So up to you here, but I would really recommend blocks. My heels are always lifted here. I love to put a block under because it gives me a bit of support, which means I can now think here about lengthening, finding space, rather than attempting to balance and be all folded over. And if you've got the balance for it, you can close off your eyes. And let's take the right hand down and sweep that left arm over. Really find space through the chest, through that left side. And then come back up. We're going to remove props if you need to. Take the feet down, come back up to your wide-legged stance, okay? Moving props to the other side if that's where you'll need them. Take a bend into the left knee, take the toes on the right side up towards the ceiling. Again, using props if you need to. And then from here, just think here about lengthening through the spine. Knit that core in, keep yourself nice and stable. Maybe closing the eyes, focusing on the breath. And then that left hand can come down, right arm can sweep all the way over. And then coming back, put the hands down, use the hands to support you back into that forward fold. Take a moment here. Heel toe those feet in, make your way into goddess. So bringing the bottom down, making sure that we're opening through the knees here, and then tucking the tailbone under. So we're not poking out, but we're really rolling it under. Okay, take the arms out as cactus arms. Find the strength here as the glutes are really squeezing, the shoulder blades are really squeezing, and then open out through the fingertips. We want knees over ankles. We want core wrapped in. And then we're going to come to the toes on the right side. Keep breathing. Lower down. Come to the toes on the left side. And then lower down. See if we can lift through the toes on both sides while staying focused. and balanced. And then lower down, nice job. And then from here, just take a forward fold. Bend through one knee, then the other. Just move out through the hips. And then just heel toe those feet in and move down to the mat via your squat. So just bring the bottom down. And then once you've found your squat, you can just stay stationary or put a little bit of movement in there. It doesn't matter, whatever's comfortable for you. See if you can find space through the spine. Think about the inhale and lengthening. And then exhale, release. And then nice and safely, carefully bring the bottom down to the mat. Going to extend through that right leg. Going to take that left leg just over the right, sitting up nice and tall here. Take the left hand behind you. Inhale that right arm up high. If you've got space, you can always come around and hook the elbow. If not, just take hold of the thigh as you begin to twist round and gaze over that left shoulder. Think about moving the belly out of the way, sitting tall. Think about pushing through the heel on the right side. And then coming back to your center, just switch out the legs. Left leg is long now and right leg crosses over the top. Take the right hand behind you and then inhale that left arm high. And then either find the bind or you can just take hold of that left and right thigh. Inhale, grow tall, move the belly out of the way, take that twist, gazing over the right shoulder if it's comfortable, pushing through that left heel. And then coming back to your center. We're going to go via boat. So just sitting up nice and tall, engage the core, lift through the feet. And then from here, we're just going to start to lower down through dish. If you've had enough and you want to head straight to the mat, there is no judgment here. But just keep the core working if you are, certainly all the way down as the feet extend. And you get towards your dish. And then surrender. Just bend at the knees, take the feet flat for a moment, and then just windscreen wiper those knees from side to side. And then when you're happy that your body is happy, then just walk those feet away. And then find a comfortable place that you can relax in for the next few minutes. So today's guided meditation is about the lakeside and all about positivity. So I'd like you to try and see yourself relaxing by a beautiful, calm lake. The breeze softly blows over the lake and you watch the thousands of tiny ripples it creates on the surface. Your surroundings are so calm, so pleasant, brings a feeling into the body of complete peace. Imagine that calm feeling washing over your entire body, from the foundations of your feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Breathe deeply and allow that peacefulness to fill you up. Allow yourself to acknowledge thoughts as they enter. Imagine placing them one by one on those gentle ripples in the water, and then just watch them float away. Release any worries, give yourself permission just to be. You notice the birds singing in the trees. They're softly chirping, and the simple sound of happiness fills the air, and a smile creeps across your face. Know that you are really in control of your mind and your body. You can choose to allow emotions to rule you, but by sending the ones that you don't want away, you will free up space in your heart and mind for positivity. Life is all about creating what you want. When you focus in on the positives, you open yourself up to allow more positive experiences in your life. Releasing any negative thoughts serves like an umbrella on a rainy day. Sure, the rain is there, but it doesn't have to affect you. In your mind's eye, picture yourself now in a stormy situation. And as you open up your umbrella of positivity, you see how you are really protected from all that is going on the outside. Know that you don't have to be part of the storm. You can simply acknowledge the change in weather and then make a choice to embrace the rainbow that will surely follow. Always picture yourself from the happiest of perspectives, and you know that you will be happy. Allow this thought to set with you just for a moment. Take an inhale and an exhale. And then revisiting that intention from the beginning of practice today. Taking a moment. And then begin to wiggle through the toes and the fingertips, allowing the body to return back to the present moment. And then when you're ready, have a little smile. Inhale the arms high above the head. And then you can come back to a seated position on your mat, and I will be there.